Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Protests continue across Iran a day after tens of thousands of people turned out to mark 40 days since the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. This was the scene last night in Saqqez, Amini's home city and where she is buried. Shortly after this footage was recorded, it's claimed police began to fire on protesters. Norway-based Iran Human Rights says at least 234 protesters, including 29 children, have been killed by security forces in demonstrations so far. Fresh protests have erupted in the city of Mahsa on Thursday. Mahsa Amini died 41 days ago in police detention after she was held for not wearing her hijab correctly. Meanwhile, CCTV footage of a gunman entering a shrine has been released of the man thought to be responsible for killing 15 people in an attack in the Iranian city of Shiraz. Initial reports said 3 assailants had fired at pilgrims and staff at the entrance of the Shia Muslims' shrine, but this man is thought to be the only suspect involved. Many more are thought to have been injured in the attack on the Shiite Muslim shrine in the Iranian city. The Islamic State militant group said it had carried out the attack. Poland has torn down 4 monuments dedicated to Red Army soldiers who died during World War II, as historically strained relations between Warsaw and Moscow hit new lows. The legacy of World War II is a divisive issue, and the conflict in Ukraine has prompted Poland to step up the demolition of memorials to fallen Soviet troops. Russia argues that it liberated Poland, but most Poles believe that the Soviet Union replaced Nazi occupation with another form of repression. The Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, condemned the demolition of the monuments. The Italian Coast Guard say 2 migrants have been found dead, while more than 1,150 have been rescued off Sicily as the new government in Rome threatened to prevent refugee boats from entering Italian waters.
Hello! You are safe?
The Coast Guard said 663 people and 2 bodies were picked up from a boat around 60 miles off Sicily, and 494 others were rescued from another fishing boat closer to the island. Footage has emerged showing what appears to be rare, large-scale protests against strict COVID-19 measures in the Tibetan regional capital, Lhasa. Multiple photos on social media show hundreds demonstrating and clashing with police. They are said to be mostly ethnic Han Chinese migrant workers. The city has been under lockdown for nearly 3 months as it battles a wave of infections. It's been announced that the Duke of Sussex's memoirs will be published on the 10th of January next year. The book by Prince Harry, which will include his own account of his decision to give up royal duties and move to the United States, will be titled Spare. When the deal for Prince Harry to write his story was announced in 2021, the Prince promised he would reflect the highs and lows and be accurate and wholly truthful. Some of the proceeds from the book will be used to support British charities. Buckingham Palace said it would not comment on the book announcement. And finally, a Paraguayan artist famed for painting intricate and personal soccer boots for stars, including Lionel Messi, is preparing a new colourful show of her work to take to the World Cup in Qatar. Lily Cantero is painting some 24 sets of boots, balls and canvases, many inspired by the Middle Eastern nation and its capital Doha, which will host national teams from around the world next month. Cantero made a name for herself painting soccer boots, including a pair she sent to Argentine star Lionel Messi when he was playing at Barcelona. Her colourful designs have since drawn the attention from other players around the world. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.